Buongiorno a tutti, come state? Bene, sì? Io sto bene, grazie, sì. Oggi faccio il video della settimana 4 del mio nuovo corso. 1, 2, 3, 4. So, what are we studying today? Che cosa studiamo oggi? Well, in this week's lesson in class, we started to look at verbs that take essere as the auxiliary verb. So this course is all about, or mostly focusing upon, il passato prossimo, which is one of the most common Italian past tenses. Until now, we've looked at verbs, or sentences, I should say, using avere as the auxiliary verb. So in order to understand that kind of grammar talk, we need to understand what an auxiliary verb is. Che cos'è un verbo ausiliare? Vi do un esempio. So, ieri ho mangiato. Ieri. Oh, my writing's terrible. I need to write it properly so that you can read it. Ieri ho mangiato una pizza. Just an example here, okay? Normally I have my pizza on Monday evening before I get to my Italian class. Ieri ho mangiato una pizza. Ho mangiato. I have eaten, or I ate, if you like. Ho mangiato. I have eaten. So in that past tense formation here, we use two parts. In Italian, in the passato prossimo, it's made up of two parts. So the first part is the verb avere in the present tense, I have. Then we have the past participle, the participle passato, mangiato. So that's one example. Let me give you another example. Abbiamo letto I compiti. Abbiamo letto I compiti. Ecco, let's see if I can get this right looking at the monitor. Abbiamo, that's the verb avere in the present tense, plus a past participle, letto. Che cos'è letto? What past participle is that? From the verb leggere, to read. So that's an irregular past participle. The auxiliary verb avere plus a past participle. We have read, or we read. What did we read? I compiti. We read the homework. So it doesn't say abbiamo fatto I compiti, we did the homework, or we have done the homework. It says we read. We have read. So here again we have the verb avere, to have in the present tense, plus past participle. Together they make il passato prossimo. So that's what I'm talking about. That's what we've seen over the last few weeks. So now we're going to change that structure slightly. So that what happens with certain verbs is, instead of using the auxiliary verb avere, like we just saw, we have the auxiliary verb essere. So I'm going to give you an example with a verb. One of the verbs, which I think is, let me just check what page it's listed on. So on page, sulla pagina, quali pagina? So on this week's handout, for those people who attend my course in person, on page 2, pagina 2, c'è una lista di verbi che usano essere al passato prossimo. There's a list of verbs. So here's an example using one of those verbs. And whenever you use the past tense with these verbs, you'll always need to use essere, so that's important. Sono arrivata a casa alle, let's pick a time, it's nearly 5 o'clock, so alle 5. Ecco una frase al passato prossimo. So this is another sentence in the past tense, the passato prossimo. Sono arrivata a casa alle 5. Sono arrivata. Have a look at that then. So, instead of saying ho arrivato, which you might expect, I have arrived, I arrived, no. This verb arrivare, very similar to the English look, is a cognate. Arrivare, it's an ARE verb. This, two things to note here. So we've got the verb essere in the I form, in a way, in English, it sort of back translates as I am arrived. So we've got sono instead of ho for the auxiliary verb, essere, and then the past participle. Oh, well, we were taught that ARE verbs change to atto, as long as they're regular, in the past participle. So why isn't it sono arrivato? I mean, this is already confusing enough that the auxiliary changes to essere, but why is the ending of the past participle changed as well? Well, this happens with verbs that are conjugated with essere. So the ending of the past participle has to agree with the gender of the person or object it's describing. So, for example, if you're a lady, say voi siete ragazze, so voi siete donne, le donne, women, ladies, girls, you will have to change any sentence you use. When you say I arrived, when you're talking about yourself, you'll always have to say sono arrivata. Così. Chaps, ragazzi, gli uomini, men, boys, lads, you will have to say sono arrivato. So if I was a boy, I would say sono arrivato. Ma non sono, sono una donna, dunque io sono arrivata. I arrived. So not only do the endings of verbs that take essere in the past tense, not only do the endings change if you're a lady, they also change in the plural, right? So let me show you something. If this were to say sono arrivati a casa, alle, cinque, this means something else. So I'm going to show you the whole conjugation of the verb essere in the present tense in a moment, because you're going to need that to form this tense. Sono arrivati means they arrived at home at 5. So not I arrived, but they arrived. So sono, remember, can mean not only I am, but they are. Now, if it's they are, you'll figure it out because of the ending, the past participle, which agrees in plural with the number of people being spoken about. Loro, we're talking about them, they. It could be the doctors, it could be the boys, it could be the students, it could be any of a number of different subjects, but we're talking about them. This I at the end tells you that it's probably a bunch of males, or it could be a group of mixed gender with men present. So sono arrivati. So what do you think happens if we're talking about they, a group of ladies, le donne? The ladies arrived home at 5. They arrived home. Sono arrivate. So this is something that might be very strange and a bit confusing, but you're going to see it a lot in the next few weeks. And in fact, we're going to have a look now. We're going to conjugate a different verb, un altro verbo, qui. In fact, before we just conjugate the verb that we looked at in class, let's just refresh our memory with how you conjugate essere in the present tense, because remember, you need the present tense of essere with certain verbs, certain verb past participles. So, io sono, tu sei, lui lei è, noi siamo, voi siete, loro sono, they are. So that's the last example we just saw. They are plus the past participle arrivati. Sono arrivati, they arrived. Okay, so we started looking at the verb andare. Now, whenever you say I went in the past, you'll need that verb andare. And so the past participle, for example, if I said I went, I would need to say sono plus andare, the past participle. Remember, I'm a lady, so instead of andato, I'm going to put the both versions. Sono andata. Io sono andata. Let me zoom in one more time so you can just definitely see that there. Io sono andata. Right, so if I'm assuming now, just for the sake of ease, that whoever I'm addressing informally in the singular, in the to form, is a gentleman. You went. sei andato? Dove sei andato ieri? Dove? Where did you go? Dove sei andato ieri? Dove? Dove sei andato? Io sono andata a scuola. I went to school. Dove sei andato? So if I was asking someone in the to form, a friend or a colleague of mine, where they went yesterday, for example, that's in the past, but it's a lady, I'm addressing a lady, then I would have to agree the ending of the past participle. So, dove sei andata ieri? Chiara, dove sei andata ieri? Where did you go? Sei andata. Get the picture? So you don't just have to change the ending with this verb when you're saying I went. You also have to change it in agreement with the gender of the person, whichever form you're addressing, whoever you're addressing, or whoever you're describing. For example, and it's not just with the gender of people, it's also with the gender of objects. So, or not just objects, but things. Remember, nouns in Italian have a gender, and so this is a great example of how that gender affects what you say and what you write. For example, so I need he or she went. I think on the next page I have an example that I'm going to use now. Let's put it in the question form. È andata bene la festa. La festa. La festa mi piace. Le feste mi piacciono. I like these things. Party or parties. È andata bene la festa. What does this mean in a sentence? This question. È andata bene la festa. Let's get a bit closer so you can see it. It went well, the party. La festa. Did it go well? Did it go well? So that's how you would ask that question. Asking about the party, which is la festa, that's a feminine noun. So if you're saying did it go well, i.e. the party, then this past participle bit has to agree with the gender of the item, the object, the noun that you're talking about. So I know it's a little bit difficult, so you'll get used to this though. Now, what did I say happened in the plural? Something else happens, doesn't it? So now we're moving on to the plural form. So we went, you plural went, and they went. So we've already seen how you say they went. Sono andati. Do you remember what the endings were? In the plural. Sono andati. Bunch of chaps, bunch of masculine objects, or a mixed group with a man present. Sono andati, they went, or sono andate. So you need to know your difference between the pronunciation of an I and an E in Italian. Andati, andate, I, e. That can be confusing because, of course, E in English is an E, but in Italian when you say E, you need to be thinking of an I, okay? Okay, so that means they went. Voi siete andati. Voi siete andate. So the endings are basically either going to be I or E, depending on the gender of who you're describing or talking to. And it's also the same when you're saying we went. For example, io e mio marito siamo andati al cinema sabato sera. So Saturday evening, my husband and I, we went to the cinema. Siamo andati. So because there's obviously my husband in uomo, because he's a boy, man. When I say we went, I don't use the E at the end of andate. If I were to say io e la mia amica, noi siamo andate, so me and my female friend, we went to the cinema, siamo andate. So you can't really avoid giving away who you're with in a bunch of people in Italian if you're using the past tense, because past participle has to agree with the gender and number of the people, and it kind of defaults to the masculine if it's a mixed bunch. This, I understand, is very difficult to get your head around. It doesn't happen like this at all in English. We've got past participles, which might look nothing like the English. We've got singular, O's changing to A's. We've got I's changing to E's. And then to top it all off, we need to remember which verbs take essere instead of avere. So most verbs in Italian in the passato prossimo use avere, but there are some which use essere. In fact, let me have a little look at page 2, I think it was, from the handout, so I can just go through some of the verbs. So the ones to look out for, and we will see this ongoingly over the next few weeks, they're mostly sort of verbs of movement, actually. Verbs such as, well, we had andare, which is to go. So I went, if I was saying it, sono andata, perché io sono una donna, sono femmina, I'm female. So andare, arrivare, we saw that, io sono arrivata, alle cinque, I arrived. So to go, to arrive. We also have uscire, to go out, like sono uscita, I went out. Sono entrata, I came in, I entered. We have the verb venire, to come, sono venuta qui 10 giorni fa, sono venuta. Partire, so that's a little bit similar to uscire. Uscire means to go out. It could mean to go out on the town, could mean to go outside, into the garden. Partire means to leave, like I left the house, I departed from the house. We also have the verb tornare, which means to come back. So there's a few. Also the verb to be born or to die, you use essere in the passato prossimo. So there's a few, but most of them are to do with sort of leaving, arriving, coming, going, going out, entering, departing, that kind of thing. So they're really useful. And if you want to tell people what you've done, where you've gone, in the past tense, you will need to know that you use essere as the auxiliary verb, and just pay attention, because if you're a lady, you're describing where you went or what you did with verbs that take essere, you need to put an A at the end of the past participle. So vediamo qualche esempio. Let's have a look at some examples here. Don't worry too much about this. It takes a little while to get used to, but the more you practice certain sentences, the more it drums into your head. So, you could almost writing something out, by writing lines, if you like. Sono andata a Roma. Sono andata a Roma. In fact, I'd put that one there, like in the feminine form, because I'm talking about myself. Sono andata a Roma. I went to Rome. I went to Rome. Repetition gets it in your head. If you're a gentleman and you want to say, I went somewhere, like I went to the concert, you need to get it in your head. Sono andato. Okay? And that's the man speaking, that's the lady speaking. So, sono andata a scuola tells you a lady is saying that she went to school. Fair enough. What about this one? Sono andato al concerto. Al concerto. To the concert. This is something we'll see more of. Al concerto. To the. Now we've got a plural one. Siamo andati a Roma. Okay, so I'm often using Rome as an example. So why is it a Roma here instead of, say, al as above? So whenever you're saying you're going to somewhere, or I am in somewhere, and it's the name of a city or a town, you have an a in front of it if the name is a singular place. Okay, siamo andati a Roma. So we went to Rome. This tells me there's a gentleman in the group of people, the we group, because it's in the masculine e. So the endings in the endings of the past participle that agree with the gender and number of people it's describing, they're the same endings as nouns. So think il libro. so that's a masculine singular now, it's got an O at the end. La donna, the woman or the lady, has an A at the end. I libri, that's plural, isn't it? Masculine plural, got an I at the end. Le donne has an E at the end. The ladies, the women. So the endings, you know, they follow suit like when you end a noun. Okay, è andate bene la festa, so we saw that one just a little bit before, un po' prima. Did it go well, the party, was it good? Sei andato al supermercato. Sei andato al supermercato? No, non sono andata. Mi dispiace, non sono andata. Did you go to the supermarket? No, mi dispiace, non sono andata. So actually, someone was asking, my husband was asking me that. Say andata, because andata needs to agree with my gender, I'm feminine, so there you go. Sei andata al supermercato? Non sono andata. Mi dispiace. I'm sorry. Non sono andata. I did not go. So, just like with normal present tense, to make a past tense negative, you just put non in front of the whole verb phrase. So you don't say sono non andata. Sono andata, pop a non in front of it, and then it's negative. I didn't go. Right, so that's quite a lot to take in at the moment. So thank you very much for watching this, and don't worry, it will become clearer. Or you might be thinking, è molto facile. It's very easy. I hope so. We'll see it more next week. And I'm just about to send this off to you now in an email along with a copy of your digital handout. Ci vediamo la settimana prossima. Grazie mille e buona giornata. Ciao!